Hello, lights. This is the Ancient Mystery School, and class is in session. Today, we will talk about the news, fear, and smoke and smudge. Before we begin, I have to thank you for ignoring any sniffling and sneezing on my part. I'm still in the dust vortex of the high desert summer, and I don't see that changing in the foreseeable future. So thank you for your tolerance. I'm going to continue to blame any verbal faux pas on the solar flares. Apparently, they're intensifying. I'm not the only one experiencing this, which makes me feel a little bit better about things. I've seen a lot of blah blah on YouTube, people trying to enunciate and get their verbal foothold. So I guess it's a bit of an epidemic. Then we have two big planets, Neptune and Jupiter in Taurus. Uh, Neptune, not real complementary with Taurus, neither is Jupiter. Pluto is in retrograde, and Saturn is going retrograde on June 29th. I'm not going to get into the specifics of any of that and what it entails at this time, or the video would be way too long. Suffice to say, none of it looks real good. So we're going to have to buck up here a little bit, because it can be a lot of aggravation and irritation, and many of us are feeling overburdened as it is. The astrological energies aren't meshing real well, and then we have political strife vibes zooming through the atmosphere. Unstable people and ideologies trying to appear benevolent and rational. These energies can be overwhelming at times for the empath. We feel everything, and it can be a lot to sift through. It can be a lot to decipher and discern and discard. Be patient with yourself, because distractions are numerous, and bodily ascension symptoms, of course, can be really difficult. We need to give ourselves breaks to reestablish our self-knowingness. Not all, but many are trying the best they can. It can be hard to find logic in a world that is being manipulated with emotion and lies by the powers that wanna be. Some people call them the powers that were, the powers that be. I call them the powers that wanna be. It makes me so glad that you are here in this world at this monumental time. You are so brave. Remember how brave you are. Pat yourself on the back. We as individuals and as a group carry the lights inside. Hold fast to that idea. The idea of your spirit in this world, and shine. Shine, shine, shine. Um, I refer to God as God, the one, source, and the all. Since the universe is the mind of God, I normally don't refer to the universe as God. God is spirit, and spirit is in everything. So when I say the word spirit, it is not referring to one specific spirit, but to the embracing Holy Spirit of God. God is first and foremost love. The opposite of love in this 3D realm is fear. It is not hate, it is fear. This is an explanation from the illustrious Robert Edward Grant. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Plainly put, it's a lie. And although it begins in the mind, as everything does, it can set off serious physical reactions. It prepares your body for fight or flight. It can increase the heartbeat. And so in the 3D, fear is also a mechanism for survival. However, most fear is unfounded and creates a foggy mind, so it becomes even more difficult to think rationally and understand that this is fear. What is happening in the moment? If you are feeling scared, it's hard to stop and say, whoa, whoa, this is fear. Plus, the brain will produce dopamine, which provides a pleasurable effect. So sometimes you will see that people are actually attracted to fear. Some examples would be like, always going to haunted houses or watching horror movies, that type of thing. Actually, it can be a bit of a trap because those things are not healthy for the mind and they are not healthy for the body. Fear is a human mechanism to keep us safe. If you look at it as that, a safety mechanism, and nothing more, it has no control over you. Put your attention instead on love and your infinite ability to create light in the world. The more you concentrate on loving kindness, loving with a capital L, kindness with a capital K, the more you concentrate on loving kindness, the more loving kindness you can generate into the world, the less scary it becomes. Love and light inside of you is empowering, so always choose love and leave fear-based behaviors alone. You are meant for beauty, strength, love. That's what you will emit when you control stress. Stress is fear's bedfellow. Mostly fear is baseless and promotes negativity. So if you find yourself caught up in negativity and stress, go within and ask, what is it about this situation that is scaring me? Identify it. Thank it for appearing so you may become more experienced and learn the lesson that you have chosen to learn. Allow it to make you wiser and stronger, but then dismiss it. Choose love. And you can say that out loud. I choose love instead of fear. Let's do something fun. Smoke and smudge. Smoke and smudge. This is a light-hearted, effective activity, and it's so easy. I want to make sure you can see everything. They say that this practice goes back to early American natives, but it probably goes back much further because it has been found in many cultures all over the world. Smoke is mostly associated with burning incense, while smudging involves burning bundled herbs and woods. Depending on the intention and purpose and your preference, everything from lavender to sage to sweetgrass to tobacco, cinnamon, and beyond can be burned in a smudge. So, some advice. If you are not familiar with the brand of sage or whatever herb it is that you're buying from a company, I suggest that you give it a burn before you use it as a smudge to see how it's going to burn. This one, for example, I think this company must be using very mature woods. I mean, very, very mature plants because it's so woody. It's having a hard time catching fire. This is blue sage. And I noticed when I bought this, I did not test it. I just started doing my smudge, and pieces were falling down on my carpet and burning it. So you do want to do a bit of a test with it. Any new brand that you're not quite sure of. This is Palo Santo. It's one of my absolute favorites. Mostly because it is super powerful and it smells wonderful. I think it smells wonderful. Bay leaf. I burn bay now and then for protection. You can burn cones, incense cones. That's when you would definitely want to be using a feather. And then also, and you can use incense, your favorite, as you choose. The stick incense is kind of cool for a quick smoking of the house because you can easily poke it. Yes, I'm an old smoke poker from poke smoker, smoke poke. Anyhow, you poke, you can poke it into corners, which is really, you have to get in there. You want to get the smoke in everywhere in the house because you're cleansing and you're blessing. It's a good practice to smudge your home every 2 weeks. You can use a single herb or a blended bundle, and the bundle can be held or laid in a pan or a shell or a bowl and lit. Loose herbs can be burned the same way. You'll just use your feather to direct the smoke into the corners and the closets. Use the bowl or whatever receptacle only for smudging. It is designated for smudging and That's going to be its only purpose. If you use a bowl, yeah, you're definitely going to want to use the feather as well. I And like I said, for the cone incense, yeah, you're going to want to use the feather to direct the smoke. I found out that this is a really healthy practice as well. Scientific research has shown that smudging smoke can purify the air up to 94% of harmful bacteria for as long as 24 hours. Now, for that, if you to look at an antibacterial, I would use something like the sage, the rosemary, the palo santo, maybe the cedars. Sweetgrass is good for something like that as well. And like I said, I'm not going to get into too much of the individual properties of each herb today, but I'll probably do a class on that at another time. I want you to find what you like best. Experiment. Find the herb that you want to burn. Did I talk to you about this? Oh no, did I talk to you about this? This is sage that I grew when I was living in the Midwest. If you have a rainy climate, put sage in, it'll grow. It's supposed to grow here in the desert. I have not tried it yet. I have rosemary out there. That's doing really well. Sagebrush is supposed to do really well in the desert, so I intend to put some in it sometime. But this is from long ago. If you can grow your own, do so, because when you plant the plant, you bless the plant. When you harvest the herb, you pray gratefulness. When you twist it into bundles, you're praying and putting your intentions into it. So you can have some for very specific purposes. But at any rate, the herb that you raise is then thrice blessed. Potent stuff. Okay. So to smudge your house, begin at the door that you use the most. Crack the door open. You want at least like 2 to 4 inches. Light your bundle, allow the flame to, burn a bit. Then smudge it into the shelf so the flame is done and only smoke is drifting. You can hold the bundle or you can lay it in the shell. Walk to the right near the walls and direct the smoke into the corners and closets with the feather. Walk the entire house using this method. I want you to choose your own blessing words. Invite your angels in. If you have a saint that you like to pray to, if you want to, or a certain deity, ask them to be with you while you're doing your blessing. But you'll want to use words something like this. All negativities must leave now. This home knows only peace and joy. So all negativities must leave now. Go. And say these words in a commanding tone. You'll walk the entire house using that method, staying to the right. You can push through the middle of the rooms if you want, toward the door. And then take it all back to the door. You want to close the door. You want to thank your spiritual helpers for attending you. Make this an enjoyable ritual. Make sure to accept your blessings with gratefulness. And a quick note before I go about smudging yourself. There's a few different ways that you can smudge yourself. I will give you the way that I use to smudge myself. I take whatever I've decided, the Palo Santo, whatever, I put it in my right hand. Most of the time I hold my left hand over my heart, and beginning at my feet, I twirl in circles so that the smoke is wrapping around my body, and I bring it up, 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 up over my head. You'll probably have to twirl like 3 or 4 times. But enjoy it. It's like a little ritual dance. Just be sure to be grateful to all the energies that are serving you. Okay. Here's our affirmation. I am growing daily. I practice purification for growth and well-being. So be it. I'll repeat it for you. I am growing daily. I practice purification for growth and well-being. So be it. And I gave you another kiss, hug to remind you that you are lovable and that you are worthy. Thank you for attending the Ancient Mystery School class today. It's all good to see you, lights. Class is dismissed.